leprosy is surging worldwide and the discrimination laws that prevails in India. WION correspondent Madhumita Saha spoke to the people who continue to fight against the disease and the stigma. Take a look.
Presenting the union budget this year, Indian Finance Minister Arun Jaitley spoke about the government's goal of eliminating leprosy from the country by 2018. That is a cause for which NGOs like the Sasakawa India Leprosy Foundation have been working for over the past decade. India is home to 58% of all leprosy patients in the world. The country had in 2005 declared that it had eliminated leprosy. Despite that, over the past decade, India has witnessed over 100,000 new cases every year. What's more, the social stigma associated with the disease persists. This often results in people not reaching out to seek treatment. To tackle that, the Sasakawa India Leprosy Foundation recently launched a global appeal urging people to end stigma and discrimination against persons affected by leprosy.
I have noticed that even if people are free of diseases, they are left out of mainstream of the society. They live segregated in 800 colonies. The stigma and discrimination has to be eliminated. Leprosy patients have passion and want to work, but they do not have the opportunity. My commitment is to provide an environment in which these people can work. My absolute and final dream is to have zero beggars from the leprosy affected people. They should not depend on begging to live their life.
Apart from overcoming the social stigma, it is important that persons affected by leprosy are given a chance to live a decent life. This can be done by teaching them skills to earn a living.
It's not easy for them to find wage employment, and it will be very difficult for us to expect that even if we train them, they will be able to find wage employment because society does not accept them. So for such people, we have a program of helping them set up their own micro enterprises. Most of the people there are very keen to do that, are very keen to move out of begging because it's quite demeaning. We have funded more than 250 livelihood projects. Each livelihood project has approximately anywhere between 10 to 12 to 15 people in it. So we've reached out to more than 5,000 families, and in terms of impact, we have impacted more than 26,000 individuals to gain economic freedom and to live lives of dignity. One young man told us a very sweet story. He said that, as is tradition in India, you take your first salary to your mother. So he took his first salary to his mother, and it was all this royal sum of 10,000 rupees. And he says, my mother had tears in her eyes because she never in her life had she imagined that her son would earn 10,000 rupees a month. That was a dream come true.
These men from Maharashtra are an example of how such an approach can help change lives. All of them suffered from leprosy but have now been cured and were provided financial aid to begin work in the construction sector. Today, they are managing their business and have grown self-sufficient.
My parents suffered from leprosy. I had the disease too, but I was cured from taking medicine in time. At that time, the Sasakawa Foundation gave us a loan of 2,25,000 rupees. We have continued to expand our business with the financial help of the foundation.
But imparting skills is only one part of the matrix. Bringing people afflicted by leprosy into the mainstream requires legal changes to end discrimination.
We still have laws on the books that are discriminatory. For example, people who have leprosy or may have once had leprosy not being allowed to travel on trains, and there are at least a dozen other such laws that need to be repealed or amended. We need to basically face the fact that treatment is one aspect. And as the Sasakawa India Leprosy Foundation and Mr. Sasakawa himself has been pointing out, an equally important pillar of changing the whole mindset is to get rid of the stigma.
The Geneva-based Inter-Parliamentary Union says that it will be working with the Indian Parliament to facilitate legal changes.
So what we bring to the table are good practices. You will notice I didn't use the word best. It's not best practices. Good practices which, if adopted by the country in question or by the parliament in question, can then become a better or a best practice. So I think here what we would like to do is to share what has gone on, whether it is in Bangladesh, in Pakistan or Sri Lanka, and try and place those as the disposal of the Indian Parliament. And I'm sure, given the new global focus on people, and it's not just what the IPU is doing. I mean, India, along with all other countries of the world, as governments, have signed on to the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, that actually says that no one is going to be left behind, which, as I mentioned earlier, means that you have to address first those who are last. So these are political commitments that our leaders have made at the UN. And it is expected that there will be a follow-up to that commitment in terms of national uptake.
Available free of cost.
Perhaps with such a coordinated effort, India will not only manage to eliminate leprosy, but also end the stigma attached to it.
Thank you again for being here.
With Madhumita Saha in New Delhi, Manoj Keval Ramani, WION.